go for a minute. Good game. Jamie, solid. I thought he was actually better in the later innings, maybe, especially in the fifth. And there were some long up downs, and that's nice. And it's neat for him to actually have to learn how to deal with that. I wish that would happen more, where you have just some big innings, but he managed it fine. It was a little different, and the conditions being a little cooler than normal here, he had to adapt to that. I think he went inside for a little while and was kind of managing. I don't think he wanted to go back down and throw, but that was a learning experience, and I thought he handled it well. I thought the at-bats up and down the lineup were really good. The quality of the contact tonight, I take the extra base hit or whatever out of it, like those exit velocities, we'll see them. They're going to spit out here, but there were some balls really, really hit hard tonight. I thought the base running was good early in the game. The base stealing was good. The aggressiveness was good. And I thought, all in all, we played pretty good defense. It was good to see McCulley come in there and play shortstop. You saw him take the ball himself on the double play and the slow roller. And I think, honestly, the story that's hidden in this is Jacob Marlowe. You hear about guys coming back from arm surgery or knee surgery, but to have 2 heart procedures in the matter of a week last year, to come back and go on that mound and actually pitch as well or better than before, it tells you how hard he has worked, and that was a very difficult thing for him to go through, for his family, and it was a blessing for him to be on the mound tonight and to watch him be that crisp and that sharp. Changeup, fastball in and out, breaking ball. That's the storyline in this tonight. Proud of the team. Penn is one of the more experienced, older, deeper teams that will play. These guys have been through it. When you look, I think they returned 1,300 at bats. Is that the number? It's a ton. Like, the lineup didn't change a whole lot, and they were in the regional at Virginia last year. They know what they're doing, and they knew how to attack Jamie. That doesn't mean it's easy to get to Jamie, but they know exactly what they're doing, and this will be a whole new game tomorrow. But proud of the way the guys played, and proud that up and down the lineup I saw pretty good contact.
As big of a lead as you guys had, how pleased were you with Jamie's just ability to have a professional approach in what he was doing?
Yeah, it was great. That's a new one. You may have a big inning here and there, but in this particular case, there were stacked big innings, and I would venture to say that's not something he's experienced before, and there probably aren't many pitchers that have. It's just the way it went. And, the quality of the at-bat and what our guys were able to do offensively led to that, which is a positive. But Micah and I did have some discussions. Okay, this has been a while. What is best for him to do? And I think it has come up before, not this year, but in years past. Like, he doesn't like to run back down there and throw in the pen. So, you do have things that you can throw up against the wall, like the plyo balls that have the same weight as the baseball, just to move the arm a little bit. But that was a good learning experience for him.
How impressed were you by his ability to work off his misses?
Yeah, he recalibrated pretty well, and I could tell he was frustrated. And when Micah, I always just get a quick cliff notes, like, how we doing? He's like, Coach, it's really jumping, which means that fastball was climbing. And there's times his stuff is so incredibly dynamic that it's hard to contain it. And you don't have that comment about pitchers very often. But the slider, when it's so firm and biting so hard, you can just see the depth and the break and the fastball. When we'll find the vertical approach of how that ball actually entered the hitting zone, and it feels like it's rising, it's probably not, but it has the appearance and the impression, especially to the hitter, that it does. And it really had that. Now, driving that car when you're sitting in the seat, Jamie sitting in the seat trying to control it, sometimes it's so dynamic that it takes him a while to figure out how to grasp that in the heat of battle. But he did that.
Good few days for Cal. What happens for your lineup when he's unlocked and playing like that?
Well, he needs to give us those kind of at-bats, and we've seen it. And I still think guys that haven't been maybe in the thick of that or the heart of the lineup, sometimes they're trying to do a little too much. And He just needs to use the field, and when he's hitting the ball the other way like that, that's a great sign. And then I think maybe his second hit was a ball that he pulled, but it's huge because he's going to have so many opportunities. The lineup is designed to give the guys in the middle opportunities, and if you have guys at the top that can run, you hope that's disruptive. In the middle of the lineup, guys get more pitches that they can damage. That's the idea of a traditional lineup. Engage really does present that, and Lodi's and 2-hole also adds that layer. So it was great. And I'll just tell you, like, we've seen far more at-bats of Fisher than you guys have, and he has done that to our pitching staff for the better part of a year and a half. And it's fun to see it actually showing up in games recently too. I think the hit he got the other night that pushed that game over the top in Tampa, that was fun for him, and I think it gave him just a little breathing room and a good positive vibe going into this.
How important has it been for the development of this team to be able to get so many guys in the game early in the season?
Well, I can tell these guys like being around. Like, you can walk by that locker room most hours of the day, and you can hear the music, and they're running around, and they like it. So the more guys you can throw in there, the players feed off that. Like, they like to see the other guys in there. Funny thing, we were trying to figure out the late night midweek games coming back. We've got 2 in a row. So the Tampa thing, we actually took 2 buses because you've got 50 plus people, and some of these big guys like almost need some space. So I went in the locker room the other day and I said, hey, the JU, like, that's a shorter trip, but we'll gladly grab 2 buses. They're like, no. We all want to be on the same bus. We want 1 bus. We're not talking about 2 buses. So the last thing I actually thought I would get from them coming out of the locker room when I asked was that they would just all want to pack on 1 bus. So I'm like, well, I guess we'll take 1 bus. But so when you're asking about watching them get into the games and for the team, they like each other. So when they get to see the other guys jump in there and get some action and a big hit or some innings on the mound, it goes a long way.
I feel like if you were a player, that would be your kind of mindset. I mean, how cool is it to see these guys share that kind of same
Yeah, it's a 1 bus crowd. Like, they just want to pack in there, and they play this game in the back that I haven't quite figured out. And it's not just here. Like, the Notre Dame guys played this game in the back of the bus, and they're yelling and screaming, and they're not really watching movies, and they're playing this game. So, but they do like each other, and we've had a good vibe here. And this is a long season. You hope to play 70 games, and there are going to be some moments where walking off that field might not be as comforting as it has been lately. So you learn as you go. This group so far has the camaraderie and the togetherness and the want to be good and the liking to be around each other is really standing out.
With another homer tonight, I think Drew's already halfway to what he had last year. I think he's got 3. What did you see? I mean, year 2 here, year 3 in college baseball. How have you seen his approach really evolve?
Well, when we talk about approach, it's a mental and physical plan, pitch by pitch, for what you're doing at the plate in the game. That has matured. It has matured, and he is physically moved along too. He's more physical. I mean, he's an imposing guy. I mean, he's 6'3", put together, and he can run. He can do a little bit of everything. When you go off and play summer ball and you come back and you learn and you swing the wood bat, and then you come back in here and you work in this weight room, and he's always working in that cage. So he's a student of his craft, and it's fun to watch guys develop, and you hope that's the progression as players move through the program. And I hope he continues on this track. And some of the things he's done with the off-speed pitches that gave him problems last year, I mean, he hit a ball 100 and I don't know how hard he hit it. He's on the score, might have been 109 miles an hour, the one changeup he hit. And the changeup has been something that had given him some trouble. And to watch him learn how to look for it and sit on it and manage the at-bat, it's fun. It's what you hope you see. But the player still has to take ownership and execute it, and he clearly is on it.
It was Jacob's first outing out here, but he was back on the mound in less than 12 months and pitching in the cave after what he went through. Just what can you say about his perseverance and how quick he was able to get back on the mound after what he went through?
Toughest dude I've been around. Like, you don't hear of this. I've never heard of it. And then to have to deal with 2 little procedures, not little, 2 procedures in a short period of time. And I think the interior part of it with what they were trying to do was maybe not as difficult to overcome as the big parts that you have to do to get to where they were doing the work on him. And then it was a cardio. He almost had to do cardio rehab on top of really the arm stuff and the buildup and just the regaining of strength and the cardio and all of the other dynamics of that sort of procedure and then the result of that. So it's amazing, and he loves this, and the intensity, like he was so amped up when he was finally getting back on the mound here to pitch. You just want him to enjoy success, and that's a huge step in the right direction for him, and he is going to help us. It's a unique pitch profile. We have a lot of lefties, but he's very unique and exceptional in his own right and how his changeup and how his stuff works.